But my goal here, as you know, is to die. That's my goal, because since last Saturday, when I found out all these things inside of me that are there that weren't, I don't know, I might need that oxygen thing back on. We might have to test it here in a minute.
Well, I'm sure they will put it back on you if they feel you need it.
You should probably.
I think I'd get that cake ate that first though. I'd eat my cake before they put anything.
Well, no one touches this cake.
I would guard that with my life too.
I will do karate chop. This angel food cake with raspberry syrup is to die
You
for.
beat that.
It's to buy
Good
for.
And a happy
combination.
face.
So anyway, I told my brother, I feel like I'm playing the Clue game, but now I find out from the internalist, probably what's going to take me under up here is this lung thing. I don't know what caused it, whatever, it's weird, but I don't care, because if it would just been the paracentesis, I would have continued on. But now that I have all these scenarios and my body is in complete physical ruins, even though I have my brain power and all that, I'm ready to go. But I'm lucky because I'm getting a great send-off, and a lot of people don't get that.
You're
You know,
right.
you're still in the final one, you're a solo, but I've already seen it in the hospital. For some people, they never get a visitor. You know, and it makes a difference.
It makes a big difference, and I got a feeling you're going to be here longer than what you think, because you sound like a tough cookie.
Well, I don't know if I want to be here long enough. But I only ask, and that was always been my prayer every night. I never asked to be healed. And I still feel that way. You know? And I taught high school for 44 years. Teenagers, retired when the Pope retired, which was surrealistic. So,
Pope retired.
and he's still alive. But it's surrealistic, you know. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, and their daughter, Christopher and Nicole's daughter, is going to go into elementary teaching. And I said, I taught high school. I tried to talk her into it. She's not interested in that age group.
She's stubborn.
And anyway, I said, Jasmine, you're not going to make buku money, but you're going to be rich. You're just rich. And what I've told everybody up here, and I'll tell you this too, I've told it to a lot of people, you're the salt of the earth. So you're very important. So when you have your bad days, always keep that image in the back. I'm the salt of the earth. Because you are. And a lot of people up here are. And if I hadn't had this illness, I wouldn't have seen this. But I see it in all aspects. And not just doctors or nurses or caregivers or whatever. I've seen it with the janitors, with the cooks, and sometimes with the nurses. They all have problems, but they don't show it.
Our jobs are very rewarding.
You understand what I'm
I
saying?
know exactly what you're saying.
And so
Yeah.
that's how I feel about what I did. And I know that Jasmine, which she's already working with some younger kids, she's starting to get that sense that there is more to life than money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So anyway, I really believe that way.
Well, I better get on my way. But I'll see you early in the morning.
Well, I'll be here
I will be too.
until finale time. But like I said, I don't regret it. You can order anything, Christopher. what I was getting ready to, I talking to merry-go-round thing, I didn't realize Nicole's recording everything. And she writes it down, and I did not know that. But she talked about how I use a merry-go-round way. If I want to get here, I've got to go all the way around. And if you listen long enough, you hear it, how it's connected. So I kept waiting for you all to show. And I thought, I had no clock, so I had no way of knowing.
What did you think when you heard us walk in the door?
Well, I was happy.
She was like, God damn it, it's finally they're here. It's about time.
5 minutes late.
But, well, I didn't know what it was. But here's what I'm saying is, you're not the one that discovered me. Who discovered me? Nicholas?
Nicole.
You're with it,
Nicole,
girl.
me, and Nick. We all
came in.
The worst part
I
is,
saw your feet sitting there. I was like, okay. She's laying down. She's on the floor. So what are we going to...
at least I wasn't in commando.
Well, at least I heard your voice.
But
I just saw your feet and I
the hard part was they had to lift me because I said, I can't move. You know, there I was, something I normally would do, I couldn't do it.
Right.
And so they did that, but then Nicole was back there backing them up. And I gave Nicholas credit for calling your dad, even though at the time I wasn't too happy because I was looking forward to Overlook.
Yeah.
I
That's
know.
when she looked straight at us and said, help me up, we're going over.
And then
Well, we're going to Overlook.
your dad says to me, you're not going to Overlook. You are going to the hospital.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's almost like you talking up there saying, Jasmine's taking me to the emergency room, and if she doesn't, we're turning around coming home. That's what they said. They were about an hour from Chicago in the Phantom. So anyway, pretty special people. Tiffany flying in, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, supposedly your dad's gonna let you all come in and pick what you want, and you know the one thing you always loved is the Owensboro one that's in my computer room. I have all those wondrous books. I have The Staging of an Empire, which is Napoleon. I liked it because I saw the theater connection. And I have so many art books that I got there, and I know that you will relish them. We got the red Goethe. I'm gonna do that. But anyway, I told your dad, I said, let them get whatever they want to get. I said, you let them come in the house and get anything they want. Now, since Nicholas and Christopher, the quality time pulling up off the floor. And you know what was bad about that? I had to go to the bathroom like crazy. So I wet all over the place. And then I had to throw up, and there wasn't anything around to throw up on. So I have a new shirt on now. You can verify that. I had to use my St. Margaret shirt to keep throwing up. And I was next to the heat register.
Oh, gosh.
So I was parched because there was no water nearby. So when I
How did
came,
you make it up the steps?
Did you think that that was the way you were gonna go?
I told you what happened.
I know you fell down, but then you crawled back up, and that's as far as you got.
Well, I made a wise move because after I did Hollywood Tumble, I call it, this thing here is from hitting the nutcracker in the bottom steps.
Oh, that's ironic.
Anyway, so I love nutcrackers, they're all the best. Anyway, so I'm down there and I'm thinking, while I'm down here, I should go ahead and open the door for them, you know, knowing about our Overlook trip. And was still playing tennis. And you know what I value the most in my house?
Yeah,
Nobody will want it, but it's the Lectern, because that was my entire life, speech and drama. And it's an old Lectern because it's got a place where the candle sat. I told Nicholas,
Cost a lot.
my favorite thing will probably get tossed out, but my favorite thing in my whole house was that Lectern, because that typified my profession. Well, I get trouble. Now, at Ball State, we played singles.
Gonna come tomorrow?
Yes, but this afternoon, so I'm gonna come by in the morning.
No, they told me I'm going to die, which is good. Because if it were just paracentesis, I wouldn't care. It's all these other things. Now I don't have the use of my legs, but I have breast cancer, stage 4, gone to the bones. And then I've got fluid in the left lung that it's so thick, it's thicker than what you would see in London. You can't even see the lung. And so the hospital said, well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to die of. He said, it's going to be this lung, you know, which is fine, you know what I'm saying? But all these years, and Jasmine's been part of it, I've been going to paracentesis. And if it just would have been paracentesis, I wouldn't be here right now. Because what I lasted from 2016 to 2019, and I said in 2016, the doctor said, because I was born by the blood, I was going to have twins. And I'd been to Europe and up and down the castles and going with, and I went to the doctor, and she said, get your affairs in order, it's your liver. Well, see, when I had that chemical burn in 2000, I'm talking now 16 years later, they said, well, it's done damage to the liver, but I didn't know it. And so Gary and I went down to the lawyer, and I was supposed to have, 6 months? I didn't think it was going to make it Christmas. 6 months. And so, here it is, 2019. I mean, I already written my obit, it's a little out of date now. We got to put Tara in there.
Yeah.
Tara's got to be in there with his chime ball, but, you know, he's got to be in there. So, they kept telling me all these scenarios, and I took it humorous as usual, because first, I'd been dealing all those years with that liver waiting to shut down. And I said to Jasmine, you know, when it happens, it happens. We've been to Cracker Barrel, we know Overlook. We've done this, we've done that. We've been to Libs.
Yeah.
You know,